The LA Times published an op-ed predicting dire darkness for the third year of the Trump presidency. As Nancy Pelosi ascends to the speakership once more, one half of Congress has the ability to resist the president all the way to 2020 as Democrats promise to block what they decry as an authoritarian agenda. President Trump is obviously neither a traditional conservative nor an ideologue, except for his immigration ultra-orthodoxy, and this suits him well to deal with the divided government. His desire to give and take from both sides could make the split houses an appealing challenge. Talking is one thing, but winning is something else entirely. And what is the key to victory at the halfway point of his first term? Well, that's very easy. Liberty. If the president adopts a more focused and libertarian agenda, he's more likely to cobble together interesting coalitions out of the chaos. There are massive chasms in both parties ripe for exploitation, and the president can use the big criminal justice reform win as a map for unearthing more legislative gold. 66% of Americans support legal cannabis, according to Gallup, and it's time for the president to speed up the slow walk to green freedom and encourage Congress to reschedule the substance, if for no other reason than to help get people off of deadly opiates. Entitlements are the biggest debt driver, and Social Security alone gobbles up a quarter of the total budget with its $1 trillion a year endless appetite. Combine that with Medicare, and you've got a generation-thwarting bomb that will blow up the deficit in 10 years as people are living longer and the cost of health care continues to go up. Not because we don't have enough government in health care, but because there's too much. The president's backtracking on Syrian troop removal shows how hard and deadly it is to extricate ourselves from complex wars in the Middle East, and only proves why we should never be there in the first place. He will definitely find rational consensus from both parties to scale back our commitments abroad so we can save lives and money by staying out of wars that frankly don't pertain to us. With all that money saved and all that goodwill stored, a pro-liberty agenda will keep the economy growing as the blowhards learn to grow up, cut costs, and work together toward real greatness. And that's the memo. The president has said the new divided Congress could lead to a, quote, beautiful bipartisan type situation. Hot. So could the president and the 116th Congress work some liberty magic together, or will they just act like bickering statists? The panel is back. Robbie, Leslie, and Andrew. Heater, I will start with you. What is the most important thing for the president to tackle if he wants to have success with both parties?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head with legalizing marijuana. I think that is something that the vast majority of Americans want, and that's something where it's worse than heroin right now, according to the federal government.
The way it's scheduled, yeah.
Yeah, we could fix that. And there are lots of other things too. I was reading up on this. Ben Carson and Elizabeth Warren both agree on certain housing policies where if you want to get a block grant as a state, you have to relax your zoning regulations. Or the other one, I think everybody agrees that high-skilled workers are good coming into the country, that immigration's fantastic if you're a high-skilled worker, so they could probably make some moves that way.
There is more consensus than both sides let on, but there's so much othering and so much fighting. Is the pro-liberty tack the best one for the president?
No.
Why?
Because I just...
you hate liberty?
I live in California. We have legalized pot. No, I love freedom and I love liberty. But if you look at what people came out and voted for, that's not what they voted for. And two areas that I think Democrats and Republicans can work together, they can pass, it becomes a win for both sides and for the president, is infrastructure.
Not a win for the deficit.
And we need it. And two, trade. I mean, he was hard on China. A lot of Democrats are saying, what happened to all your campaign promises with China? Currency manipulation hasn't even touched that one. So I think those are two areas.
Bigger deficit means more debt. That means less freedom. And the economic isolationism also very anti-freedom. It's very anti-free market. Robbie.
There's more to do on criminal justice reform. More people, we could do more laws to resentence so that people who have no business still being in jail and it costs so much money to keep them there, we can release more of those people. Also, in terms of the troops we have all around the world, Trump has expressed, I think nobly, the idea that we should get some of our people out of places like Syria and Afghanistan, but we have troops in the Korean Peninsula, in Europe, in Japan, all over the place.
We've got bases all over the world.
Right.
That are very expensive.
Imposing our, ideals on people. This is something that Trump's instincts have been against, that have been, I think, very good, and that many in the Democratic coalition agree that we shouldn't be doing this kind of nation building.
Yeah.
Love to see consensus.
Yeah, and I think that's a really smart move, and I think you can can take a rational look at the way we spend money in the military, and it's not thumbing your nose at those who wear the uniform, and it's not withholding the necessary support from warriors and from veterans. But what it does is it takes a responsible look at how we defend ourselves and not imposing that on parts of the world that are frankly capable of defending themselves.
Sending our troops into areas of the world with no plan or no reason for them to be there is not respecting them, right? That's actually disrespecting them.
Yeah.
And I think Trump actually does understand that.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that's why he's more popular with veterans than many in the media would let you believe.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, the military's typically and historically leans right. You know, they support more so the policies of a Republican commander-in-chief than a Democrat commander-in-chief.
Yeah, typically.
Didn't Ron Paul do very well with veterans when he was running?
He did, and you know who else did? Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
want to be sent off
what is Aleppo? And they're like, yeah, that's right, someplace I don't want to go.
I think they often feel taken for granted by people who say, nope, we're just going to send more of you to another war, and it's not well thought out, and you'll be there forever.
You're a block. Your lives don't matter. It's all about a political win. You're absolutely right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Andrew Heaton, welcome aboard. Leslie
so
Marshall,
much.
great to see you. Robbie Suave, always, my friend. All right.